A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Monday, May 15th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. Orange County has filed 2 lawsuits against the city of New York, and the town of Newburgh filed a third, seeking to have state Supreme Court disallow New York City from housing migrants sent to the Big Apple in local hotels. One lawsuit seeks to have a temporary restraining order to hold off on the housing of immigrants, while the county seeks a permanent prohibition. New York City bused some 50 men to the Crossroads Hotel on Lakeside Road in the town of Newburgh on Thursday. A second suit claims New York wants to send the initial busloads of men to Crossroads Hotel and as many as 600 others to the Ramada Inn on Route 300 in the town of Newburgh. And that decision was made unilaterally without consulting the county about the long-term reclassification of hotels. The town of Newburgh has also filed a lawsuit alleging New York City did not consult with the town and is in violation of town code and certificates of occupancy by converting the hotels into long-term homeless facilities. Meanwhile, veterans in area hotels, including the Crossroads in the town of Newburgh, were removed from their temporary housing to make room for migrants coming from New York City, according to Sharon Tony Finch of the YIT Foundation, a local not-for-profit that assists homeless and low-income military service veterans in need of living assistance. A man wanted in a March 12th murder in Scranton, Pennsylvania, was arrested on Friday in Catskill. The U.S. Marshal Service arrested Travis Lanzo for shooting David Deschler several times in Scranton, killing him. Scranton police teamed up with the Marshal Service and determined Lanzo had fled to the New York State area. A Reading, Pennsylvania man is in the Sullivan County Jail in lieu of $10,000 bail after he allegedly lured a 12-year-old girl from her town of Thompson home after he met her on the internet. 19-year-old Kevin Corona was arrested by Sullivan County Sheriff's deputies on Saturday after the victim's parents reported that their daughter had been briefly missing from their home overnight, but returned the next morning after meeting a stranger. A new law adopted as part of the state budget requires mandatory arrests in cases of domestic violence. State Senator James Skoufis sponsored the legislation that he says sends a strong signal that violence has no place in homes and that victims will be supported when they come forward. Kellyanne Costellar-Larrier, executive director of Fearless, the Hudson Valley's domestic violence advocacy group, lauded the change in the law.
Mandatory arrest is a piece of a coordinated community response. It is critical because we made a decision many years ago that domestic violence is a crime and should be treated as such.
Goshen Village Police Chief James Watts said the legislation will allow police officers to effectively intervene in the cycle of domestic violence and will help protect and empower victims. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
The town of Wallkill had a significant uptick in violent crime last year with 5 homicides. 2 occurred on May 9th in a murder-suicide involving a husband and wife and the woman's lover. Police Chief Robert Hertman says a husband shot and killed a man he believed to be his wife's lover and then took his own life, the chief said.
That was the murder-suicide at Buffalo Wild Wings, where there was an ongoing relationship between 3 different parties, and 2 of the parties were involved in the incident where the one person was murdered and the other one committed suicide.
The investigation into that case was formally closed last week. Frontier Airlines is the latest to pull out of New York Stewart International Airport, but Port Authority officials remain as optimistic as ever that air service options will continue to grow, according to Charles Everett, the aviation director at the agency. A Brooklyn man was arrested by Crawford Town Police after he was stopped while driving a 2010 Nissan Maxima for speeding on Route 302. Investigation showed the vehicle's registration was suspended. The driver, 21-year-old Travis Gilmore, was advised he was under arrest, at which time he resisted. Gilmore was taken into custody, and during a subsequent search of his vehicle, an unregistered 9mm handgun was discovered. He was remanded to the Orange County Jail in lieu of $10,000 bail. The town of Wappinger, the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office, and Wappinger School District announced a plan to increase patrols at their elementary schools in the town to keep students safe. The Dutchess County Sheriff's Office and Wappinger Town Patrol, operated by the Sheriff's Office, will be at the district elementary schools in the town to ensure consistency among all 11 elementary schools throughout the 7 municipalities served, said Superintendent of Schools Dr. Dwight Bonk. Construction of a new municipal swimming pool in the city of Newburgh just became a little bit more of a project. It turns out that after the current pool is demolished, a second pool underneath must be removed, says Mayor Torrance Harvey.
I don't know how or why someone would build a pool on top of a pool, but I know that's going to be a challenge to, demolish. But that's going to commence, I was told, this spring, and so you'll see some construction, some work going on there.
The new swimming pool amenities will include a pool and other aquatic facilities. The city has committed some $7 million from its ARPA allocation toward the $10 million project, the mayor said. The completion of the work is expected to take longer than anticipated. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.